third, considering it's PvP. And he was also up to 72 probes. I mean, he has a decent scout here. He's got cannons in case of DTs. He has a cannon here. No defense here. I'd like to see like a pylon or gateways or cannons or something here, but yeah, that's about it. But he's gone for like a really heavy gateway army, which means he'll have a robo constantly pumping Colossus. He'll have 6 or 7 gates, and he'll probably have double forge, which he does, as opposed to SCVReady, who I'm coaching at the moment. He only has 47 pros, which is really low for 17 minutes. And he also only has like 3 or 4. He has 3 gateways, which is just going to get crushed by 6 gateway Colossus. Like there is, I don't care how many immortals you have. If you can only warp in 3 stalkers and he can warp in 6, you might win a fight. You might win the second one, but eventually you're just gonna be outnumbered and overwhelmed. So also, this is a common problem for kind of anybody below, well, even diamond sometimes, is just general map awareness. Like, for example, if you're sitting blind for half the game and he just moves out, I mean, you must have seen this if you're below diamond, is you'll be sitting mat growing up, and eventually they'll just walk across the map and just kill you. There's probably nothing you can do about it. Is that you back? Hello?
Alright,
Yep,
I'm back.
cool.
And
Okay.
sorry about that.
No problem. So we'll hit play again in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm sorry, where
Oh.
are you?
I'm
what
at
time?
17:20.
Okay, on my way. By the way, do you understand whatever I'm talking to?
Yeah?
Okay, that's cool.
Where are you from, buddy?
Poland.
Okay, right.
Okay, you'll have to wait
No
a
problem.
little bit more. Because I hit pause and now I need to go to times 8.
No
Okay,
problem.
where again? I'm sorry.
17:20.
Alright. I'm there.
Ready?
Yep.
Cool. Hit play in 3, 2, 1, and go. So right now, basically, because you have no map vision, you have no idea this is coming. And as I said, like, it could be as simple as, putting a pylon, like, where he's going to walk his army. I mean, if you lose a pylon, it's 100 minerals, yeah? But you can get your army in position and everything like that, all that good stuff. This is a horrible angle to attack versus Colossus, by the way.
Yeah, what could I have done? I mean, he
Okay,
has
if we
4
hit
colossi and I have nothing.
okay, if we hit pause right now.
Yep.
Okay, so at this point, if you'd have had a pylon, like somewhere on this map where he's going to walk his army, you could have seen this coming, yeah?
Yep.
So you can basically engage at the top of this ramp by your third, and you can get like a crazy good concave with Immortals. Like, Immortals will shred anything in the Protoss army if they can all hit it. So basically, if you have, let me see, how many Immortals? You have 5 Immortals right now. If all 5 of those Immortals can fire on this army, while Stalkers and stuff kind of like, fire from the back, and Zealots soak up the damage, this army melts. Like, really, really quickly. The Colossus will do a lot of damage to your Gateway army, but those Immortals will melt his Colossus and melt his Stalkers, like, so quickly. It's all about having that little bit of map awareness. Like, as I said, just lay down a pylon, send a couple of Zealots to a watchtower, just to see when his army's moving out, or even just leave observers in, like, the middle of the map or something like that.
Okay,
But
so...
right now,
sorry.
like, say he's, like, marched up, right? He's just killed your third, and you do not want to engage in this alley against Colossus. The best thing you could do right now is take this army and walk it all the way around and come at him from this side here. The side with, like, the watchtower. The big open middle, kind of where his army's sitting now.
Yep.
If you engage here, that is much more beneficial for your army composition. Because obviously he's got Colossus. They do, like, really tight area of effect damage with their lasers. So the kind of looser the area, the bigger the area that you can engage in versus Colossus when you have none is much, much more beneficial for you. So if he's got Colossus and you've only got Immortals, don't engage him in tight chokes like the one you're trying to now. Because one, you can force field and make it absolute hell for you, and two, you're at a disadvantage anyway. So what I definitely recommend doing is either A, waiting for him to come back up this ramp, but get your army in position waiting, or B, walk round until you're on the biggest surface area possible to engage this army. Like where his army is now, you've got both of those possibilities. You can go sit at the ramp and wait for his army, or you can walk it round and engage it here in this big open surface area, which is much more beneficial for your composition.
All right. So
Okay.
what you're saying is that maybe if I had better micro and position, I could have held this attack.
Well, it's nothing to do with micro. It's all about how ready you were for the attack. And you weren't ready. Like, you had no idea this was coming. Like, the first time you spot this attack is when he's attacking your third. And that's really, really bad news. Like, if you knew this attack was coming, say you had an observer, right? You had an observer sitting on this ramp just as he left his base. That gives you... I mean, Colossus are slow for a start. Like, that gives you, like, maybe 30 seconds to kind of position your army at this ramp. And if he walks up there, he can either engage you really badly and lose, probably lose the fight, or he can just back up, and that gives you time to, go, okay, he's got Colossus, I need to maybe get some Colossus of my own. Okay, he's got a big army, that means I can get a big army. So basically, if you had any sort of vision of his army moving out, you either A, engage really well and get as much like cost effectiveness as your army as possible, or B, he just backs up and you've got a little bit more time to breathe. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Anyway, we'll carry on this replay in 3, 2, 1, go. So his army's marching up. That's really bad news. Okay, he's really cheekily building a pylon there. Okay, yeah, you're forced now to engage in like this really narrow area against Colossus. I mean, if you look there, like half your army wasn't even fighting for the majority of that fight. I mean, he does something really silly and blinks into you. I mean, there's no need to do that, but the fight's already lost at this point.
It's a pain to watch this.
Yeah, it's okay. As I said, he kind of forced you into that engagement there, which is always like really bad to, you never want to fight Colossus in a narrow choke. Oh, he leaves a Colossus out. That's nice of him.
Yeah, that's Silver League.
But again, like he forced you to engage in like a really horrible spot, and also your gate count's like really low, which is unfortunate. But as I said, you've only just switched to Protoss. It works a little bit different from Terran. So just keep that gate count like nice and even. Like you want 5 to 8 gateways on 2 base, depending on what tech. Like if you're going like expensive tech like Colossus, like just lower the gate count by like 1. If you're going like rather cheap tech, well I say cheap, but like Immortals and that sort of thing, then just get an extra gateway just to kind of compensate, because you always want to keep your money at 0, like as much as humanly possible. Right now you've got 2,000 minerals, 1,000 gas. That could be 3 Colossus and 10 Stalkers or something like that, and then this fight looks a lot better for you. See, you're adding on like a bunch of gateways now, but these should have been added on ready for this attack, rather than added on as the attack's coming.
Okay, I see. Because I had like 400 minerals on 2 bases and 3 gateways still.
Yeah.
And I decided to expand instead of adding additional production.
Okay, well that's absolutely fine to do, but just remember to add the production after you've expanded, because obviously once you've expanded, you're getting double the minerals, double the gas. So you want to add double the gateways. Okay?
Yep.
So just keep in mind that, if you're on 2 base, just try to get like 6 or 7 gateways, okay?
All right.
Like, the worst thing that can possibly happen is, say you put down like an extra 4 gateways, and then he attacks. Like, it's going to be like a real struggle to hold, because obviously those 4 gateways could be zealots or stalkers or whatever. But if his attack, doesn't kill you, which most of the time it won't, because he'll only have like 3 gateways as well. So you'll be kind of, even. You'll then have that massive advantage of an extra like 4 or 5 gateway units every round of warping. And if you think about that over the case of like 3-4 minutes worth of warping, that's an extra like 20 to 25 units, and you'll just flat out win.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Take notes.
Yeah, that's no problem. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about in this replay? Like, anything that bothered you or anything like that?
Well, let me think. I don't know. Is Frigate Stalker Rush viable in PvP?
Yeah, definitely viable, but this is a massive, like, huge, like, think of this as like the title. You need to keep those stalkers alive.
All right.
Absolutely 100% needs to keep those stalkers alive. I'd also recommend building a sentry at home as well as you move out with those stalkers, just in case. Like, if he, for example, proxy 2 gates you, and you haven't got a sentry there, your whole army is at his base, while, like, 2 zealots just walk up your ramp and gut your mineral line. But if you have a sentry there, you can force field it, and you can completely nullify any attack he's doing just with a force field.
All right.
Okay? So, but the free Stalker Rush is absolutely 100% viable. You just need to make sure you don't lose those Stalkers and you make a sentry at home. Awesome. Anything else while we're on this replay?
Was this guy playing like silver? Like
no,
what could
I'd
he
say
have
he
done
was.
better?
I'd say he was playing more like platinum sort of level.
Cool.
I mean, he's got 4 bases in PvP. That's a miracle on itself. And he's got like a decent upgrades. He's got decent, Colossus count, decent gateway count. To be honest, he's like a very, very good player for like someone who's like in silver.
All right.
Okay. So we'll go on to the next replay, shall we?
Sure.
Which is a...
I believe 1233.
Yep. And that's Protoss versus Zerg, yeah?
Yep.
Cool, let's load that up. Just let me know when you're ready.
I am now.
Cool. Okay, sorry, one sec. XSplit just gave me a bug.